Hey y'all, you are watching This Wholehearted Life, and if we've not met, my name is Amy, and on our channel we talk about a lot of different things, but one of the things I love to do is take you thrifting. And so I have a very short amount of time. I'm on my way through town and wanted to stop in Asheville, North Carolina. And if you don't know much about Asheville, there's a lot of fun things to do here. I'm not too far from Chimney Rock, the Biltmore House. I saw some other things along the way that I was like, oh, there's UNC Asheville not far from here. When I was traveling, I saw signs for all of that. And I don't have a ton of time, so I'm not here to be a tourist, but I do have a few minutes. And so I wanted to take you into a thrift shop, just see what we can see if we see any treasures. I love stopping into thrift stores I've never been to before when I'm on the road traveling. So let's go inside. This one is for the Humane Society. So let's see, I've never been here before. So let's go see if we can find any treasures. And as always, I will share with you what I see along the way and if I find anything good. Okay, I'm going to take you guys in this Asheville Humane Society thrift store and show you around a bit. This store was not very big, but it had good categories and a good selection of different things. And the pricing was, I would say, pretty good overall. One thing I really like to do when I'm out thrifting is keeping my eyes open for little souvenirs. So like this mug here was an Asheville mug. And I just think finding things like that at a bargain price, because you can find t-shirts or mugs or magnets, things like that will help you remember your trip, but you're not having to pay all those touristy prices. So this thrift shop had little birds. It was obviously the Humane Society, so they had those cute, sweet little birds there. And if you missed my video in Raleigh, I went to a thrift shop there that actually had cats and kittens. So they were raising funds for animals, and you could adopt them. And I loved this little book nook room. I loved how they had separated it out for you to just go in there and you could pick a book and even flip through it and sit down for a little while. So I liked how they had that separated, that book area for their guests. I came across these little lucky little booty boots things, and I really liked them, and they were totally my style, something I would get a lot of wear out of, but they were not my size, so I had to leave them behind. And here I am taking you to our very next thrift stop, and you don't want to miss it. Okay, so I just finished up at the Humane Society thrift shop, and I did get one thing, and I'll share with you what that is here in a few minutes, but I just typed in thrift store because that store was so small. I was like, I have a little bit more time. Let me see what else I can find. And so I typed in this thrift store, and there was a Goodwill, but I've got Goodwills near home. And so I was like, let me see if there's anything that's more unique to Asheville. And it brought me to this place called the Regeneration Station, and it looks like a huge green warehouse. So I don't know what they have in here. Let's go find out together. I told you guys, see? It's a very large green warehouse. Let's go inside. Wow. I just walked through this green warehouse called the Regeneration Station, and their little theme here is reinventing ourselves to reinvent the world. And it is similar to another place I've been before in North Carolina, where each person has like a booth they rent. And so they had a lot of mid-century modern stuff and a lot of furniture. They did have the other items and small things, but I didn't even get to all of it. I mean, it was overwhelming. There were so many booths, and they did have some craftsmen and like handmade items. It was gorgeous, and I'm going to show you everything now. Like I said, I'll definitely show you the mid-century modern pieces, and this one definitely caught my eye. And this green couch also caught my eye. It made me think of my childhood, the childhood home that I grew up in, my dad built, and it was built in the 70s. So I definitely remember lime greens and yellows and oranges throughout our home for some of my childhood. I absolutely love this vintage jukebox, y'all. Oh my gosh, it was so cool. I mean, I obviously have no space for it in my house or have, no use for it in terms of practicality. But look at the music, Baby, Baby, Amy Grant. I mean, like, the music was awesome. It was like a time capsule in and of itself with what songs they had on there. But even just the functionality of it, it was super cool. It'd be great in like a cool restaurant or something like that. So anyway, I wanted to show it to you. And then I had to show you this because I think every single one of us owned chairs like this at some point in our lives and childhood and teen years. And they are selling that thing for $115 when, my goodness, we probably had them in our yard falling apart for years on end. And as you can see, there's tons of the mid-century and modern. This piece also, oh man, how cool is it? Is this like writing desk? And I love anything that has really cool drawers on it. I mean, look at this thing. And the beauty of this one as well is everything was like in great condition. Someone took amazing care of it. This piece was stood out to me. There were so many pieces in this huge warehouse, but this one was hand painted and done so beautifully well. Again, some more mid-century modern for you folks. I'll invite you guys to stick around to the end where I show you what I bring home from my trip to Asheville. Do you guys see it? Do you see the piece I'm eyeballing on the back wall there, the graffiti wall? Oh, I'm gonna give you a close-up look here in just a minute. That thing was amazing. Oh my gosh. This thing is amazing. Oh my gosh. I am enthralled. Oh my gosh. It says it's an antique church cabinet for right under $3,000. And holy moly, I would love to have this thing. Where would I put it? I have no idea. But holy moly, it's awesome. Look at this. The drawers actually work great on it. It's obviously really old. And I don't know what that Latin is. Can you guys maybe tell me below if you speak Latin? I'd love to know what that says. Oh my gosh, this thing is unbelievable. Wow, there's so many beautiful things in here, but this thing is blowing my mind. Wow. Y'all, that piece, I still think about it. Because I mean, it obviously it's so cool and like obviously was in a church and they held documents and all kinds of things, special things like that. But what I envisioned it as like a piece in a kitchen that's redone. It could be, I mean, what color would you guys do it in? You could stain it in a really beautiful walnut. You could even make it more modern and make it some really cool, fun color. It would be beautiful in white. It would be beautiful in black. And I'm sure some of you guys are cringing at the thought of doing any of that to it because it might change its value. But I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, that piece was unbelievable. But super large, so you'd have to have the space for it. What would you guys do to it if you had it yourselves? Also, I'd love to know if you'll share in the comments, like, let's dream a little bit together. What function would you use for it? Because I was envisioning those long drawers, like those could be platters for holidays. Oh, you can tell I really loved that piece. This piece here, I have one so similar. It was my grandmother's, and I've shared it in a couple other videos. So I wanted to show it to you because it was so much like my mama's. If I'm wrong on this, please don't make fun of me. But I looked at this thing for a minute and I was like, what is this for? It's a rocker. But I think, is that for you to put the baby in there and then you sit and rock it? That's what I'm thinking. So correct me if I'm wrong, but don't make fun. This piece reminds me of something I recently got, and I can't wait to tell you the story behind the piece I got and the connection to my family, and then it's just gorgeous. And as soon as I get a minute, I'm going to make a video about my piece that looks very similar to that one. It's a little bit larger, and it's definitely antique, and there's a really cool story behind the piece that I will share with you in an upcoming video. But if you aren't from the area and you've never been here, downtown Asheville is awesome. So I've already passed multiple antique shops and lots of thrifting, but just in general, it's got a great vibe and you'll really enjoy it. Y'all, I made it to Tennessee. So I stopped in Asheville, and that's where I took you to 2 different thrift stores. The Habitat, which was very small. It was organized, and they did a good job with it, but it was small. And so I was in and out of that one. And the only thing I found there, which I'll show you in a second, actually. And then I took you guys to the big green warehouse that I literally probably could have stayed in there for hours and hours and hours the whole day. And there was a whole section I didn't get to because I needed to get back on the road so I could make it to Tennessee. I didn't want to be driving a ton at night because I've not done these roads by myself before. So I was like, I better get on the road. And that place had so many beautiful things, antiques and vintage things and gorgeous furniture. If you love mid-century modern, it was thrifted in the sense of like things were secondhand and vintage, antique, that type thing. But most of the things there, it was you're not really getting a bargain in that sense. They were curating things in there that were so special, and I didn't really find anything that I was like, I really need this. I've looked for this, and so I didn't end up picking anything up from the place that was green. And I will also, just so you know, I will put in the description, if you want to know exactly where I was, I'll put the name of of where I was and the location. So if you're ever in that area, you can go thrift there if you want. Because yeah, I want you to be able to check it out as well. So for my trip to Asheville, which was literally just a few hours on my way to Tennessee, which is where I am now, I bought one thing, and I think it's very special, and I wanted to show you. It was this little board of earrings. And this one is just a silvery one. This has black undertones to it, and this just looked antique-y to me. I don't know, just looked older, and it's not fully my style, but I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna find a reason to wear these. These 2 I could wear on a daily basis. And I don't know, these might have been somebody's grandma's, but I love them, and I'm just gonna, I don't know where I'm gonna wear these, but I'm gonna try them. Like I said, these could be a daily wear for me. And don't worry, I will some people freak out about stuff like this, but I will sanitize. And, you know, I know if something's secondhand, sometimes people worry about that, but I will be honest with you, we should sanitize everything that we're buying new as well, you know? So it's not just that part. So they will be sanitized before I use them. But I just thought they were really unique and beautiful. And guess what? I paid $3. So I got these for $1 each. And so I'm pretty happy with my purchase during my very, very short amount of time in Asheville. And I hope that I will be able to go back there again and spend a little bit more time. Or ever in Asheville, you'll not just go there for the touristy stuff that I was talking about. There's so many beautiful things, but take a minute and stop in some of these thrift shops. You'll probably find something special and unique to take home, because this will help me to remember my trip. Be on the lookout for future videos. If you've missed my one in Chicago, or I did another one in Raleigh, North Carolina, there are more coming. So there will be one for my time here in Tennessee. I'm here now after being in Asheville. And so I will make sure that the Tennessee one is coming quickly after this one. And then also in the weeks and months ahead, in just a couple weeks, I'm going to be in New York City, going back to my stomping grounds. I lived there for 6 years. So I'm going to definitely pop into my favorite thrift store that I went to at least once a week when I lived in New York City. And then there's a few others that I might try to get to. But I'll also give you glimpses of the city, because you can argue with me in the comments if you want, but New York is the best city on earth. And like I said, I lived there almost 6 years, and those days are treasured in my heart. I love the city so much. So I'm excited to go back and see friends, but I'm definitely going to fit in some thrifting outings, and we'll bring you guys along. So stick around. Be sure to subscribe, because you don't want to miss those videos that are coming very soon. And I have a good chunk of thrifting videos already on my channel. So if you enjoy seeing that, I try to, like, when I'm taking you throughout the store, point out really unique or even odd, things. So if you like seeing that, I have other videos on my channel that I really think you'll enjoy and can, see what I find throughout the store, but also what comes home with me. So I hope that you will subscribe and come back. And also, I really would love for you all to come back, because the other content that I'm working on is about adoption. And so if you know anyone that adoption has touched their lives, we have a whole playlist for them and more content coming about that. And even at some point, I hope to do one to tell our story a little bit better about our 2 adoptions that we had in our family. So thank you for being here. Again, I'm Amy with This Wholehearted Life, and I hope that you will come thrifting with me very soon. And there will be a new video next Thursday, and I hope to see you there. Bye, guys.